Hi, I'm Sally St. George, and I teach at the University of Calgary in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
I'm Dan Wolf. I also teach at the University of Calgary in the Faculty of Social Work in Alberta.
And we're both supervisors and clinicians at the Calgary Family Therapy Center.
We came to Canada about 8 years ago or so to work with Karl Tomm at the Calgary Family Therapy Center and teach at the university. And we had known Karl for many years and really found it very generative to work with him. And in the course of our working with him, we began to realize that people knew of him around the world through workshops and an occasional paper in the Journal of Marriage and Family Therapy. But there's so much more to his ideas that wasn't written down, it wasn't put together in a coherent way. So we came up with this book idea as a group and talked him into writing it with us.
Right, it took us several years also, I think, to become better acquainted with his ideas and his thinking and what he's contributed. And as we became more familiar, we also wanted to add some ideas that we were having along the way. And so the book became, well, it was kind of a labor of love. And I have to say, Karl took some talking into it, but once we were writing it and we wanted to add to the ideas that we've been talking about in our daily work, it became a real exciting project.
Karl is a very humble man who really doesn't think a whole lot of advertising his work or promoting himself. So it was really quite an effort to get him to accept this thing. And there were hurdles to, first of all, talking him into doing it, then finding a publisher, et cetera, et cetera. But the deeper we got into it, the more excited he seemed to get. So our group of edited chapters, the authors of these chapters, got together every month for over a year. We talked about our chapters, we gave feedback to one another. So it really became kind of a learning community that evolved out of writing this book.
It was a very exciting time as we met. We exchanged ideas. We kind of critiqued or asked people for further explanation. And through that process of just meeting, we would go off on tangents, and those tangents allowed us to generate even newer ideas as we came together. And so it was exciting. It was a very exciting time as we prepared the writing.
Karl is very open to his ideas evolving. He's not one to have a proprietorship where he keeps control and you have to do it his way. He very much wants people to innovate with his work. And so he was very welcoming of the idea of the skips, the socio-cultural interactional patterns. That was something that he welcomed, and he thought that that was an addition to the IPSCO.
He wasn't just welcoming to us or the rest of the team of writers. He is also, anybody who reads the beginning of the book will also see that he and our team is inviting the readers to generate new ideas and develop things and expand and try things and also get back to us.
And the way he started the book was very open and welcoming, and the way he ended the book in the final chapter was to actually question the whole idea of the book itself. And maybe there's more to be done, and maybe there's a better route to take. So the whole book was just kind of, it's just a parade of ideas that when you get to the end, you feel invigorated, refreshed, and probably have some of your own ideas to go off on new tangents with. Throughout writing the book, we came up with other chapters that didn't even make it into the book. There were things that were too much for this one first volume. So we've been toying with the idea of doing a second book that kind of goes further into some of these things that we only started to go into.
So it's been a jumping off place for newer ideas and for future writing.
So the Pips and Hips idea is now doing well. The book has been well received around the world. It just was published in Danish this last week. So we feel like there's really some taking up of these ideas And hopefully lots of young people who are learning about systemic family therapy and postmodern family therapy find this to be a book that advances their learning. This is a very practical book that ties theory and research and practice and ethics intimately together in a way that's continuously evolving.
So we can only wonder what other interpersonal patterns are on the horizon.